All right, hello everyone. We are now we've returned from our break, and we are ready for part 2 of Mission Impromptu Bull. What we have gone through now is the group has been brought together, has met both Agent Halver and Director Avalon. Pardon me, and. They learned a little bit about this organization, have at least a passing comfort in who they are and what they do, have been given the green light from their own individual organizations or instincts. And as they are a party that has a particular set of skills, they are needed by the director to go on a particular mission, as it seems like other agent teams are rather busy. These are dire times. They've been trying to train up others, and either they're dying or there's too much happening. They're stretched thin. Director Avalon had indicated that another team of agents had initially tried to rescue Tiba, though they lost him and have since been reassigned to go take on some sort of gargantuan monster from the depths that is now floating above a crater in the Fallfire Plains. Now, where they are headed, and in fact, if we go over, let's go to the map, where the party is headed here in our Mediterranean-style area, they're going to be going away from, well, they're going hopefully away from this this giant ship-destroying whale and these other creatures that just swarm and tear them apart. And they have been asked to not go by air because of that. A lot of air traffic has been interrupted because of these creatures. So they were taken to an engineering bay and were given a choice of spy vehicle, effectively, or some other appropriate action adventure vehicle. And they're going to some place in Lacuna where the PACTS, P-A-C-T-S, PACTS, the PACTS organization has presumably determined that their rescue target, one Tiba Flowerfield, is being held by a group of vampires. And in order to get them there safely, they have been given these vehicles to travel, to search around, to see if they're getting closer. It's travel and some investigation to try and pinpoint where it is that he is going to be. Now, throughout the this interview and in the couple days while you're here, PACTS, P-A-C-T-S, you would have determined is actually is in part of Lacuna. While they are a non-governmental organization, they're occupying a contested territory here by a now active volcano. That ever since things have really been getting spicy, and look, if it's not one thing, it's another. Now there's a big active volcano. It was dormant for a while, but it's really starting to heat up. You know, some of the evenings you could see it just glow up into the sky. But you're in an area that is otherwise known as the Dragon's Graveyard. Now, of course, as we all know, dragons lived 35 million years ago. There might be someone who wants to recreate some sort of like draconic park at some point in time, but that is lunacy and is probably a terrible idea, even though the tourists would love it. But
Put your hand down, Doc. Oh.
It is a historical area. It's a decent place for a clandestine base. It seems to be respectful of that, of the graveyard. It's not like they're there digging up a bunch of bones or anything. And it really just is out of the way because it's close to a volcano. Mesomasca technically vies for it. Lacuna technically claims it, but it's monetized by Lacuna And people in Mezamaska just sort of say, well, it's really more close to us. Think of it like the Statue of Liberty. Is it New York's? Is it New Jersey's? It was, contentious for a while. People still go there. It doesn't matter which state it belongs or belonged to. So it's set up in this sort of neutral territory, and it seems like you don't have to travel too far. You will have a short trip by boat in order to get to mainland Lacuna. Now, this map kind of cuts off Lacuna. There's more to it than what's on this map, just like there's more to Candor to the north. But you'll be taken via boat in your vehicle choice. You'll be dropped off to then hopefully go and rescue this kid. And the kid was sort of a wunderkind, a child who's been determined to have unique powers. Magic is something that... well, we know that dragons at some point in time existed because they left bones behind, and there are people who seemingly have draconic heritage as well. So it's not like it's like that they never didn't exist. Magic and other things they're a part of history here. Maybe it was a simpler time, but now it's become a lot more widespread. A lot more people can use. Instead of the power belonging to only a few, clandestine wizards. In their towers, these devices became popular. A lot more people could send sendings. Now, it was rough because at first you only had 25 words, except on nights and weekends, because you had to pay a couple silver if you went over the limit. But eventually, technology got better, and you were able to send more than 25 words, or in your friend group. I think there was someone named Rary that set up some sort of a friend sort of speed dial. Anyway, so you're going to be transported along with your vehicle. You're going to be dropped off to Lacuna to investigate around and see, I don't know, are you getting close? Are you going to be able to find this kid? Because ultimately, he has this inherent power to understand ways to take down the rising and spreading menace of aberrations. Even though aberrations are almost, in their own way, acting as an interesting check against the vampires, but the vampires are seemingly holding Tibba. And of course, where the heck does Shadowheart play into this? Especially because it might be suspected that Shadowheart with their necrotech might even be behind a vampiric incursion, or their mere presence might be making the dead very restless. And that's on top of the heap of other problems that go on within a country or among several countries close to each other. So there's never a dull moment in Mesotopia, and we're going to get back to it. Where we left the party, we're in the garage, and you all would have had more than just a 10-minute break to think about it, to weigh your options. If any of you are just joining us, the options presented to the party. They can take 2 custom motorcycles, each with a sidecar, an extended sidecar for cargo or the rescue, the target. There's some added armor and weapons, perhaps get there more quickly or be more maneuverable, or they could get into a sand dog. This is the Casimir model sand dog. It is sort of a desert tan with orange. It has also been modified as, in IRL terms, I sort of described it like the turtle van, where there's some weapons on it, and wouldn't you know, a conveniently sized group of 4 can rather comfortably operate inside this vehicle. It does offer more armor, slower speeds. I sent them the stats. You in the audience, don't worry about it, huh? Although if you do want to worry about decisions like that, I will be asking for people to step up and play Monster of the Week in October, and then Power Rangers in December. So if you like this and you want to do this, if you're not already a part of the community, join us on Discord, and you'll see when I put out solicitations. Anyway, commercial over. You all have weighed your options, your weaponry, perhaps the things you could do in or out or with the vehicles to move forward with your mission. And So we'll come back. You have Director Avalon, who's standing here with you. He has a wide smile on his face. He seems to be beaming very happily, and he's looking at you all, who are about ready to tell him what you would like to do as far as your vehicle choice.
Fragment. We determined that in the facility, John is more casual, but now that it seems that he's ready to set out, he's got the full, slacks, button-up tie, very fancy wristwatch, and he has a suitcase, and he's got that, that big puffy kind of pizza delivery backpack thing over his back. And so when he comes back, he looks at the director and he says, "Well, I think my choice is pretty obvious. I like the one with the brand new software in it." And he nods his head at the sand dog.
Understood. A lot has gone into that. And the others?
I agree. The sand dog seems like the smart choice. There's more room for our gear. We have a better chance of surviving getting hit. I like it. I'd like to live, please.
That would be preferable.
We can't split the party and take some of us in the sand dog, some of us on bikes.
I suppose if you wanted to, but the sand dog would need a more of a team to actually operate it or get the most out of it.
Okay, well, we'll hop on the sand dog then. I point legs towards the front of the sand dog where it kind of climbs up on the grill and just latches on.
Okay. Hood ornament?
Yeah.
Yup.
And for Bernard, initially when he saw the bikes, he was kind of eyeing them with a wry smile, kind of wringing his hands like, "Oh yeah, it's down and dirty." But then he saw the grappling hook. That could be fun. And so he's like ever slow, slightly inching more towards the sand dog.
It seems like you've made your choice. Although I will say, Bernard, I saw you sit on that cipher model, and it seemed very natural for you to sleeve your hands into the gauntlets that were acting as the steering mechanism.
Oh yeah, I have a words. I have a proficiency. Proclivity is the word I was looking for gloves.
Well, I don't know if the vehicle as it is would be able to take one of the fully modified versions. Though, and with what Kincaid had brought up, I suppose if you would like, we might be able to find a way to take the kobold off of Cypher and effectively put it on a rack on the back of the van. Well, not the van, he wouldn't say the van, on the back of the sand dog. It would be more unstable, and it wouldn't have all the features that it currently does. But if you wanted some sort of an extra vehicle, we might be able to arrange that.
All right, Director. I have friends in many places. If we require more wheels, I'm sure I can procure them.
Yeah,
you do. Those friends are us.
Let's keep safety first. For now.
Very well. Then the Casimir is yours. I would, of course, love it if it returned in one piece. However, I also understand the danger that you're going in. And I would rather you come back in one piece than this thing. I'm sorry if that hurts, Kincaid, but...
I mean, there's just four of us. I think we should probably return in four pieces, right? I mean, there's...
One piece each, please.
I heard about what this gooey stuff did to the machines in the good doctor's office.
Yeah,
I'd rather not be merged with the van if at all possible.
Yes,
No,
I
that's
cannot
the-
guarantee that you'd be immune from that. You'll need to be careful.
Although those machine guns, I could grow one of those.
Well,
I'm sorry. What were we?
if we're gonna travel in this Sandog, we could just call ourselves the Sandog Millionaires.
If you would like that as your group code name, then we can add that to your file. But
I'm not against it.
you're welcome to think about that. We want you out as soon as possible, but it will take at least a day to prepare everything and to get the Casimir aboard the ship that we're going to take to the mainland. So you do have one more day here at the PAX facility.
So if that's the case, I would like to make sure that my medical kit's all ready to go. Is the Sandog capable to be equipped with like a mini science lab?
No. It has computing. It has a computer, but it's not a van. Like it is a Humvee, maybe a little bit larger and enclosed, but it is not. It's not like I made a Jurassic Park joke in the previous. You know how they had like the big lab van that even had like the wiggly bit in the middle, like an extended city bus. It's not like that. It is large. The four of you could be kind of comfortable, but even because of the equipment there, the one side does have to fold down in order for you to be able to use it. Should you be in a situation to defend yourself.
Okay, because I was looking at my gear, and one of the things I get to have is a traveling like chemistry kit.
If it's something like a briefcase, then yeah, you can bring the briefcase with you, but it doesn't have, it doesn't have a small like mass spectrometer, or it doesn't have like a centrifuge or anything.
I was thinking just basic stuff, nothing like game breaking like that. So I'll just make sure I bring my lab kit with me.
Okay, yeah, if it's a kit that you could normally carry and it's portable, that's fine. It just doesn't have a lab as a part of it.
Right.
No dedicated med bay in the party bus.
Yeah. So yeah, you are the doctor, but the med bay is. All right, recline the passenger seat down, and there we go.
Here's the stapler.
Yeah, hand me the stapler and don't hit any bumps, please.
Kincaid, I'm aware that you're quite good at fixing things, but are you good at operating things? Are you going to be our driver?
I can drive pretty much anything if I need to. I think I'd much rather be shooting a gun, but I mean, if we don't have anybody else who's a designated driver, I can hop behind the wheel.
I don't know how to drive one of these things. I would be probably worse than useless.
What's you, Bernard?
I'm as good a driver. I'm as good as driver as average person, I'd say. But I wasn't trained to be a driver.
Well then, Kincaid, if you'd rather be shooting, I can definitely take the wheel. And this is one of those moments where it's all coming back to John, and he's going to gain proficiency in the driving skill.
Very good.
So that'd be the vehicle skill, I suppose.
Is this like the Matrix? You plug a USB drive in, and you say you know kung fu, or you know how to pilot helicopters?
Something along those lines. It's probably, he has a day, so he can go get on either PAX systems or the facilities systems, and do a bunch of training sessions. And this is part of my person of mystery background.
Okay.
A feature called It's Coming Back to Me, and I can choose one skill during play and one language during play that I mysteriously develop the ability to do or speak.
Back in the day, shooting womp rats in your land speeder.
Right. And I kind of we can either visualize it as that kind of training program system, or it could be something like perhaps some of the memories that Fragment has had wiped over the years has begun to bleed through.
Wait, you don't remember your past?
What was that?
You don't remember?
No, Fragment is a person of mystery. He is reassigned, and that's all he knows.
Wow.
I have someone at my door. Just a moment, please.
That's unfortunate. Imagine having a life that was so awful that you had to wipe it from your own brain just so you wouldn't have to think about it.
Well,
I mean, he
hope
may
he's
not
in a
have
good
wiped
place.
it willingly.
Imagine having a background like that and wanting it gone but can't.
I'm sorry. Is that what's happening with you?
Mayhap.
Also unfortunate.
Yes.
Well then, the evening in the facility is left to you all to do this, to talk about, since you've met each other, to talk, to plan who's the driver, who's going to do this. If there is a basic kit of some kind, you can take a basic kit. So again, there's no like lab stuff, but if there is like a portable chemistry kit or a doctor's kit or something, you all are welcome to take a kit that you think would help you on this mission, since you all have been rather unexpectedly pulled out of your lives and sent to bull rush a location to find a missing child with interesting powers. So shopping, or if you already have such a kit on your character, you should be able to take that kit with you.
The only thing Bernard would have missing would be Birdie, but he got picked up with Birdie in hand, so he's good.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, from my background and stuff, I get a chemistry kit and a first aid kit. I imagine the chemistry kit's something along the lines of lots of carefully packed test tubes, some reagents, and some of that aspic gel in the little petri dishes and stuff like that. Nothing super major.
Yep. So no spectrometers or centrifuges or whatever. Yeah.
Deep freeze, no, nothing like that.
Yeah. No cryogenic chambers. Which, if we're playing Cyberpunk Red, that'd be rough, because you need those in that world. Especially if you start having stuff go askew.
Though Bernard would make sure to get a hold of old Hank and have him take care of Trisha.
Yep. If you need to make any phone calls, you are asked not to disclose the mission you're on or these other facts. You haven't been. They're probably listening, but they haven't been hovering over you all about it. You all have been treated like the professionals you are. And while I'm sure they would be displeased if information got out about this, especially because they're trying to go on a rescue mission, you haven't been treated like children. You haven't been treated like there are things you learned that you perhaps never knew or made the connection. So that could be a bit amazing or shocking. But you all, as professionals, you have been treated as such. You've been brought aboard. Your credentials have checked out, and they're carrying on as if you are capable of doing this. And even with a casualness that... Do they often pull people out of their lives in order to send them out on some sort of a life or death journey or situation? Do they instill this much technology and trust into people who until now were seemingly strangers? That itself, maybe you think it, maybe you don't, maybe it doesn't really matter to you. But you will have a night to eat in the cafeteria, eat privately, to continue looking around the facility. But at after lunch tomorrow, you will be taken to the docks, and you will load up onto a ship in order to cross the sea to Lacuna proper. So with your evening, do you just want to sit around the campfire together and bond, or what would you like to do?
I like any kind of security access to the computer systems in whatever lab they've shown me to. Like enough to at least look at what they might be researching.
Okay, so a little bit more research to hopefully answer a question that you still have burning.
Yes.
What about you, Fragment?
So John's going to be spending a little bit of time, either having these flashbacks or training via virtual simulation, but he will eventually poke his head out around dinner time and, have that bit of conversation with Kincaid about, how much of legs did you build yourself? Did you outsource the parts? Did you fabricate them yourselves? And we can have that conversation either now or in a few minutes.
Okay. Then Kincaid, is this a conversation in passing, or is this something that you're willing to sit down and talk with someone who seemingly is interested in who you are and what you've built?
Yeah, sure, we can talk about legs.
Great, you want some pie at the cafeteria?
Oh, definitely was going to suggest going to the cafeteria. I ain't eaten this good in a while. But yeah, legs is mostly scrap metal and salvage components that I put together.
Amazing. And did you use a programming language? Did you build your own programming language?
He's pretty much mostly mechanical, really. He's not really much programming in there. It's gears, clockworks, little motors.
That is fascinating. I don't suppose that at some point do you have any plans, any blueprints for how you assembled him?
Not really plans. I mean, I just kind of put parts together and more parts on, and then when there looks like there's a part missing, I find a part that fits.
You can see
I
that.
don't really have a plan. Do I look like a kind of guy who has a plan?
Well,
I brush
looks
the
can
stained mechanics overall that I'm wearing.
Looks can be quite deceiving. Most people take me to be a basic office drone, for instance.
With sunglasses like that? You can't see a computer screen when you're wearing sunglasses like that. It's all blurry.
No, you sure
Can't be an
can
office drone.
when the computer screen's inside the sunglasses.
Cool.
Yeah, you see, but that makes you something more than just an office drone. If anybody's thinking, looking.
But that is interesting. To get a machine to comprehend things mechanically, that is some true inspiration.
Yep, but it works most of the time. And I
There's a
feel I
question
should probably
for
be rolling a deception check here, just see how much of this you're
Yeah,
buying.
we'll have a contested roll. Let's see if you're setting off some BS meters.
Man, if I were there, but I'm not.
I find that John is not very. Oh wow! Apparently, he is quite insightful today.
Boy, they're close though.
It's the training montage.
Yeah. Gonna need a montage.
I was really lying my ass off too.
Well, I don't know, Fragment, are you going to call him out on this, or are you just going to let him speak and take it what you will?
Fragment has a stand. Fragment is very transitory because he doesn't have long-term memories really, and so for the most part, he allows people to speak in whichever way they want. But he knows that now he needs to adjust what he thinks Kincaid is saying to things he can observe more directly.
We'll just click this flag of filthy liar. Okay, good. Now I don't have
Right,
to...
exactly.
Yep.
The filter's been set.
Yep. That's an easy, simple life. You just turn on the filters as they're needed, and there you go.
Man, I need one of those.
Bernard, how are you spending this night? Do you want to be social with the others? Do you want to be in any of the classes, physical or mental ones? Do you just want to spend the night making phone calls and telling people you're on a contract for a while?
He would make his phone calls, and then he would take some time for a good workout, and then possibly around dinner time, either if any of the other folks are available, or but he'd probably sit down with the others for dinner, and he'd be sociable.
Okay. Well then, we have a rather peaceful evening of interacting or doing some research. Dr. Ken, I can get some info to you. The facility doesn't explode. It is not invaded by, some army of enemies. So that's convenient. You will, in fact, wake up in the morning. You'll be of sound mind and body, at least as much as you were the day before. Pardon. Dr. Kent, make a computer a disadvantage as you're trying to do research into this.
Go to my character sheet and mark disadvantage. I know there's a way to do that. Disadvantage. And you said computers?
Yep.
Okay. Come on, double 20.
Ooh, that is bad.
All right. To find the things that you're looking for, you at least... You know that you can't because you don't have S-level clearance.
Right.
Though, with the lack of information, it's at least making a negative space shape that they presumably have information on this. It's just whatever this S-level clearance is.
It's when you get to know what the S in PACT stands for.
It very well may be. You get S-level clearance when you learn the S. But there does seem to be information more about... the things that you already know, you can access. And you've given it a good try. No one's come running in. You didn't set off an alarm. No one's coming in here going like, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. You're doing this research. Now, maybe you are trying to do it and you're kind of going, I'm going to be sneaky. And whether you're sneaky or not, it exists in such a state that you don't have whatever this S-level access is.
I'm not as much of a computer whiz as some of our companions are. So,
yeah, but you have there's still a clue at least.
Yeah, there's something there, I just can't get at it. And they know more than they're telling us clearly. And,
yes. And the agent and director are more than they appear clearly as well.
If we have a private moment where we're not being like overlooked by like everybody, so like not in the cafeteria, but if we're in some kind of a more quiet space at some point, I will go ahead and mention to the others now, that I have reason to believe that the director and our Mr. Halvor, something weird, unusual, and a bit unsettling.
I mean, did you really think they were being all up front and straight with us?
Of course not.
Yes.
But I don't think they're human. I don't think they're close to human. I think there's something we haven't seen before.
Well, I think you're right, because I haven't seen very many humans glow quite like that unless they've just left a nuclear reactor. Sorry, I'm not good around people. I don't mean to be an ass. Well, I do mean to be an ass, but I shouldn't be. I should be better.
I've
Be
learned that
careful
it's
about those should words. They're judgmental and sometimes useless.
I've learned that questioning one's employer oftentimes leads to disappointment.
I've learned that not questioning your employer can sometimes lead to your death.
I learned that being unemployed ain't too bad sometimes.
Now that's fair. I don't even know what that would feel like. I've been working since the day I turned 12.
Not very often, I can tell you, but every now and then it's got a downside.
Unemployment can be quite uncomfortable.
Well, no alarms go off over your hushed tone, chat in the cafeteria. You each have your own separate rooms that you can stay in. You're not bunked up like maybe the recruits are or the younger people. You have your own. Yeah, I mean it's smaller. It is a room with a little bathroom attached to it. It'd be like staying in a hotel room, but it's there. It's comfortable. The night passes. Again, you wake up not dead. Ninjas don't just break in the middle of the night and, kill you. And breakfast and lunch are yours before you need to report to the director. So, any last words or things you want to do at the Pact's facility before it's time to meet up at the docks and get going?
I'd like to give the sand dog a good once over and just check all the nuts are tightened,
Sure.
verify everything looks in place from a mechanical standpoint.
Sure. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right.
Okay.
You have plenty of time. You can go ahead and make a mechanics at advantage here to check over the Casimir.
Okay,
there's
I don't know how.
there we go. That's a number over 20. You're on the winning team now. All right.
I mean, it was only a 16 initially. Just saying.
Yeah. Everything does seem to be in place. Maybe there's an appreciation for the engineer team that clearly converted this normal Sanddog model and did put more discrete options in it with the computer system, the way that the worms system folds out, and so you won't be traveling as overtly as like overtly a weapons platform as you might otherwise. Anyone with a discerning eye can still see it. It's modified, and this is more of a this is a vehicle that is made more for wilderness, like more for the sands of Aslandia and maybe the rocky expanses and wastelands of the Fallfire Plains. They're still common enough around Mesotopia. So, I don't know. Props to the engineering team here. Everything does seem to be well put together. There's nothing that appears to be like a blinking red button that you have no idea what it does. Casimir should serve you well.
John, make sure that his...
Give it an appreciative slap on the rear bumper.
I'm sure Casimir likes that, so...
And make sure that his briefcase and Faraday pouch are squared away inside of it.
The Casimir. Oh, the Casimir.
All right. Yep. You get your luggage aboard here, and the director is here meeting you. You're at the docks. You're loading up into the ship. I'm not going to be going with you, of course, as I'm needed here. Arguably, I'm being pulled into 3 places at the same time. Though, before leaving, while you are not obliged beyond this initial contract with us that you've been you are a part of, you're not obliged beyond it. But I would also be remiss if I didn't give you something that might very well be useful for you on this trip. It is a lesser version of a gift that we give to our fully fledged agents out in the field. And he puts a little badge in each of your hands, and you can wear it overtly, you can hide it in a pocket, whatever you wish. Though if you want to use it, you will need to be able to have it ready, and preferably pointed at the person who's giving you problems. And in chat, I'll go over it in character, but in chat, let me write down, or let me... he does make mention as well in this that he's also very busy preparing for another mission with another group called Operation Welcome Mat, as one of the other directions that he's being pulled in. Go. There's a channel and Control V. So he puts a little device that looks like a badge in each of your hands. Now, for our agents, and you have a one-time use, this is called the E-Blast. And there are 4 settings. Setting A, B, C, and D. And he'll go over what each of the settings are. And he'll demonstrate how you can employ your E-Blast. It is a one-time use because you are not full agents of PAX, but apparently agents of PAX do get access to this E-Blast. You have 4 settings, A through D. The director... What's that?
I was just going to say, John slides it into the pocket with his pen protector.
It is important to note, this is not an electronic device. So, adds a little bit of magic, quite literal magic, and a little bit of mystery. This is not an electronic device. But he tells you, you select A through D, and when it's ready, you can deploy it in the way that you see fit. So he'll go over it with you, or if you want to pretend like it's a little instruction manual, you'll be provided the appropriate instruction.
A, B, up, down, left, right.
Agent Halver, eventually, like as the director finishes this up and he wishes you all well, he's finished giving one of you the final handshake. Agent Halver comes up, whispers something seemingly urgent to the director. The director simply nods, closes his eyes, and gives a head shake, looks over at you all. It's always something. Anyway, I wish you luck. I wish you well. You may not be in direct contact with me, but Halver or another agent under him would be a contact through... your vehicle. You should be able to talk. Now, I believe Mr. Calendar unless you wanted him to use your hacker name. But he would know your hacker name. You would know that from at least a private discussion. Mr. Calendar, you are welcome to use other resources you might have available, though I kindly request that you refrain from discussing the specifics.
Specifics get people in trouble, sir.
Good man. And good luck to you all. He walks away with a brisker pace than you've seen him move, even under the urgent circumstances that you all have met him. And Agent Halver looks at you all. Right, well, I suppose before you all leave, because I'm needed here at the facility as well. Did you have a name that you wanted to be known as, other than group? He'll go over some very sterile sounding letters and numbers.
I believe Dr. Kent had an idea of something about sand dogs and millionaires.
I just thought it was funny, that's all.
That may very well be. It's an interesting thing that those who have been targeted as vampires have been high priority. Those with access to wealth, those with access to power. It seems to be a kind of conversion. So you might not be too far off, Dr. Kent.
I think that might be a good code name. Besides, it might attract attention that might make investigation easier.
I like it. Now if I can just learn how to use some of the stuff in this super van or super vehicle.
Sand dog millionaires it is.
Well, there's nothing that I can do about it on my end, because it was the director's choice to go with Mission Impromptu Bull, given how sudden you've been recruited and how we're going to unleash you as green recruits. As we have to be conscientious of being infiltrated as well. If it brings a smile to your face, I would have much preferred Operation Side Story, as I think it would be, given all the other distractions that are happening, including the ones that are that the director is currently overseeing, that you doing this is very important, but it might be overlooked by others. So don't forget that. That was how I saw you, in a form of respect. On the books, it might be Mission Impromptu Bull, but in my heart, this is Operation Side Story.
Works
Yep,
for me.
nothing feels better than the boss telling us we're a side story. So,
I'd
mount
rather-
up, guys.
I'd rather be a side story than somebody's obituary.
Agreed.
Listen to this
Let's
woman.
go. Let's go. Let's go. We got a kid to rescue.
Yep, the ship. Agent Halver steps back and onto the gangplank and lets you make your way. It's with modern technology. It's not like, oh, we're gonna be on some huge Indiana Jones. It'll take you a week to cross. This is really just going to be the better part of the day. You left at lunchtime. You'll be arriving in the evening, which is better anyway, so that you can slip out of the docks where they have arranged for you to be dropped off and join traffic, or go to your destination as you may need. But still, as custom dictates, we have that wonderful we get the nice dotted line as you make your way over to a more clandestine location where your ship can drop you off. Because you did choose the off-road vehicle, you do have the benefit of being able to be dropped off on a beach, and you don't have to be on a port, and you don't need asphalt or concrete as much as the motorbikes would. So it's a little bit rougher, but that might give you a chance to experiment around a little bit. While it was checked over by Kincaid, no better experience than by driving. Go ahead.
I'm looking around in the skies. Do I see any traces of those weird flying monster things they were talking about?
No.
Okay.
That might be in part because, well, for two reasons. While they can appear over the skies here, they're centralized out of the crater, but also because of the activity of the volcano as of late, there's a lot of smoke and ash. And so as you're making your way west, the east, looking back, especially towards the crater, is taken up by the smoke and the glow and other such things. Now, you would, and I don't need perception rolls for this, there would be some air traffic. Looks like mostly Mesotopian style ships that you've seen before. Some of it could even be members of pacts that are coming and going to the Dragon Graveyard. One of them is a very clearly Shadowhar style ship, and it doesn't follow you. The Shadowhar have been very curious, and with them having a lot of mobility in the air, often they just fly around and they watch what people are doing, where they're traveling. Maybe they're trying to take measurements or distances. So maybe for a little bit there was a Shadowhar ship that was close, not like buzzing by you all or like very overtly but suspiciously following you. But you were a curiosity, and they moved on. And even before you landed and the sun had set, that ship had already moved on. But you did have a bit of a lingering Shadowhar ship for a while there. While you have a couple hours on the ship, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss or do?
Fragment will basically do what he does best, which is become one with the crowd. But he will be, when it's time to dismount the ship and get into the thing, he will be found investigating a locket, which is the only possession that the facility never seems to remove from him when he gets relocated.
Okay.
And inside of that locket, if one were to notice when they tap on his shoulder to get his attention, is a picture of him and some woman having a dinner together. And he seems to be staring at this quite confusedly until his attention is broken, and then he'll quickly like snap it up and try and hide it and be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. The crew of the ship is sparse. A lot of people are needed. The sailors here, probably they're agents of pacts as well, or at least employees of them. They're not giving you any of you suspicious vibes. They're not looking over your shoulder. They're not reminding you of rules or whatever. Their job is to take you in an inconspicuous manner, to drop you off, and to continue doing what they're doing.
While
Yeah.
While we're traveling, Bernard would approach Isabel. Say, Miss Isabel. I noticed your med kit there. I remember you mentioning you could mix up a few things. Should things get physical on the mainland, think you can mix me up something to get a little extra spicy?
You asking for some performance-enhancing drugs?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, were you talking to me?
Yes, he was.
I'm sorry. I was. You see that she's tucked something shiny inside of her shirt. Performance enhancing drugs, you say? Well, I don't normally deal in such things, but should the need arise, I have a few things that might give you a boost in the time of need. I don't feel comfortable just giving those out right now.
These
Oh,
little
no,
blue
no.
pills are expensive.
That's
They have to be administered properly or they won't work.
no, I understand. I'm just saying, if things should get a little hairy, some extra spice on top of.
I have a few tricks up my sleeve. I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. I've got some things prepared in my med kit. Don't worry.
Nice.
I wasn't always just a research scientist.
Good to know.
Then, night is falling. The sun is setting. A storm is blowing in. Not a bad one, just some rain is blowing in from the west, which is making the volcano, like the light and everything as it plays on the underside of the clouds that are passing over. There's still even a faint glow, which, in its own weird way, this glow from the volcano, it makes sense, but there's just there's something about that glow that is more than normal, super normal. There's got to be a word for that.
Supernatural?
It does give off a weird vibe, especially the longer you stare at it. And
Ultranatural? Supernatural?
that sounds dumb.
So as we set to disembark, Bernard is particular about his appearance. He buttons up his shirt. He makes sure everything's straight, and he makes sure his tie pin is. He's particular about the tie pin, and he sets it he's kind of OCD about it. He makes it sure it's center mass, and then he makes sure his hammer security badge is straight on his right lapel, and he makes sure the E-blast is straight on his left lapel.
Oh, okay.
And then the one thing he does do though is instead of his usual driving gloves, is he's already donned his fingerless armored gloves.
Okay. So he's getting ready. As the ship's coming by, you're told to hop in because they're going to get close up to the beach. They'll open up the front and sort of drop an amphibious ramp, and you're to get out, and they're gonna close up and keep moving. So this is part of getting ready. You get everything adjusted. You all are inside of your chosen vehicle here, and
So he does offer his driving gloves to John.
Why, thank you.
And
then-
John is the designated driver, right? At least in normal circumstances.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as we're all settling into the the sand dog, is that what?
Yep.
Yeah, sand.
Yep.
As we're all settling
Yeah,
in this
the Casimir model sand dog.
Yeah, as we're all settling into the sand dog, and he's he's particular, and he's like double checking everything, and then when he sees I'm he's like, all right, everyone buckled, and he's like making sure he's buckled in properly.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, does this piece of the harness go over here or over here?
As you're
Wearing a
figuring
seatbelt
that
makes
out,
it hard
uh,
to abandon the vehicle.
the storm is it might be kicking up, and in fact there might even be like there's a kind of the usual sway, maybe because you're getting to the shallows. It's actually a little bit more aggressive than the deeper water that can take the the motion of the waves. But you have this thing that's been blowing in, it hasn't stopped, and while you are inside your vehicle, it must be getting pretty bad. It sounds like there's some hail or something outside of the ship. And there's shortly after that, there's a groo, groo, groo. And from the announcement, that's not hail. The ship is taking fire. And those little pink pinks off the hull aren't hail from the storm clouds blowing over the humid sea. Those are bullets ricocheting off the hull of the ship.
We need to get out now. Is there any? Are we close enough to like get off the ship now with the vehicle?
Yes, you're going to have to, because the voice that comes over, the voice that comes over says, "We need you to leave now. We need to turn around. The ship's not meant for more than what we've already sustained, and we've seen more on the beach. They're starting to focus on our location, and the front is starting to open up." With the amphibious ramp also coming down. We're not close enough. We're not close enough. Tink, 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 and like something big explodes and makes the comms hiss out. And the ramp just, the front is only partially open, and the amphibious ramp that was starting to descend down hasn't made its way entirely. There's wind blowing in and water. There's a big now that the hull is opened up. It's meant to. It's not like you're in immediate danger. If it can't be fixed, it might sink, but you're not in immediate danger. But if you're going to leave, regardless of whatever shape the ship is in, you're gonna have to start up the ship and see if you can ramp out of the opened front of the vessel in order to just hit that amphibious ramp while it's stuck up, fly over, and land on the beach in order to get out of there. So hopefully, Dr. Kent, you figured out at least 3 of your 5 points in your harness. Because Fragment, I'm gonna need something big from you if you're to get out of this without taking some initial damage. Because it is a very good guess that none of the attackers are expecting your vehicle to just go ramping out of this and onto the beach, where you are equally capable of finding traction and going from there. So this is what we're going to do. We are opening up our core rulebook, because you are going to be needing to, as the driver, make a stunt here. And let's go to... That's attacking vehicles, ramming with vehicles. Chase encounters. We are going to... This isn't a foot chase. We're going to go to a vehicle chase. All right, what I want you to do in this, the inside of the ship still has traction. You should have plenty of ability to get traction and ramp up. So I'm not going to add any sort of difficulty modifier. You're pointed in the direction you need to go. This is trying to maintain some semblance of control while you're trying to pull this stunt. But the stunt itself is going to be rather difficult. So I am going to say that I need a driving test from you. Current conditions, I'm going to call this a DC 15. Pardon. Now, you and others may have inspiration or fickle god's favors if you wish to invoke those. Or if you do embrace the YOLO, then just roll it and hope you do well. Otherwise, we're going to start finding out what happens to damaged vehicles.
I will double check how much Fickle's God I have, which I saw you put in our chat here. Yeah, I'll burn a Fickle's God favor for advantage on this test.
Okay.
Good thing I did.
Ooh. Yikes.
Not
Can I
really,
also-
I guess.
All right.
Yay.
So you rev the engine, fragment, and maybe there was a shift because of a wave or some seawater or something got under one of the tires. You should have four-wheel drive, but something happened. You still ramp out. However, you are slogged. You're not onto the beach. You're in the water and things are slogging. There seems to be several agents somewhere on the beach in your ramp up. It's not like they're super lit up, but as they've been firing on the ship, you can see as you're going up and over that there's also a rocket that is firing towards it. And you're not hit by the rocket because fortunately this was not a well, you didn't get the critical, so there is at least a fickle god that is smiling upon you. However, you're going to be landing in shallows that are still deep enough that you're slowed down. This is going to be more difficult as you're trying to push. Come on, churn, get out of there. Maybe some water is starting to seep into the vehicle as well. Kincaid, this might give you some worry about the engine as well if it's flooding. But you did quite literally make a big splash, and this is going to start directing fire onto your vehicle. Now, if we take a look at your vehicle, your stats... Oh, shoot, you know what? I'm sorry. I clipped the line, but I forgot to put the reference numbers, so hopefully in the book you know what the numbers are going across in the order there. If it comes down to, being able to penetrate the armor value of the plates and other such things. Get that back up. What I would like to do now is get into a sense of initiative. To keep it simple, while I have multiple attackers, I'm going to roll once for them, and since there are multiple of you in the car, I'm going to stick with the driver's initiative for now, and if we need to break it down into more minutia, then we can go a little closer to a complete step-by-step. Right now, though, this is a back and forth as you're trying to establish this beachhead. You're trying to make your way onto land and get out of here. Since maybe someone actually betrayed the information, or they just this faction has people who are looking for this kind of operation or something. So let's do this. I would like an initiative roll from you, Fragment.
There you go. Wow, I am...
Oh no, Fragment.
Fire.
Ooh,
All right.
yeah. Can I give him one of my fickle god favors and add to that? If I could afford it.
The fickle god has chosen you for that favor, so he would have to invoke his own or use the inspiration that is floating on his sheet.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I want to help.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
We'll turn that down as we have our car chase. So you're trying to slog out of here. I'm going to attempt to shoot at your vehicle, which, let me get the full clip of that, or the full snip of that. I should have seen that earlier, and I didn't. So I'm sorry. This was me being in a bit of a rush. So we're gonna take this, and I'll just get the whole thing here. And now we'll drop this into your chat. All right, so Casimir is going to be taking fire, and this is a, well, I can't get the first thing I wanted to do because they're not visible and actually protected by water. So instead, I am just going to see if I can damage your vehicle. All right, so you have your armor value is 2, as is your windows and your tires because of the bulletproof property. And I'm opening up with some light machine guns.
Invasive maneuvers.
Sorry, everyone. One moment.
This is exactly why we have Kincaid along.
Yes. Kincaid just like putting a wad of bubble gum in, like I'm getting ready for what I got to do next. You're checking your paper clips, your foil. You got the wad of gum in there. I'm ready for anything.
Don't look at me. He said he remembered how to drive.
Well, apparently two can lie at this game.
Yeah, right.
All right, attacking vehicles. Vehicles that come under attack are treated differently than living combatants, but they can still be damaged in specific ways. Attacking a vehicle is accomplished in the same way as a normal attack, with an attacker choosing the vehicle as a target and making an attack roll. If the attack hits, it deals damage, impose a condition or other effect, or both. Vehicle can't be killed, but it can be totaled. While in motion and operated by a driver with proficiency in vehicles, the vehicle's defense is equal to 10, plus the lower of the vehicle's dexterity modifier and the driver's bonus with dexterity checks. All right, so in this case, its defense, when being driven by fragment here, because it is 10 plus either the vehicle's dexterity or the driver's bonus with dexterity. What is your modifier, Fragment?
I am equal to the Humvee. I have a +2.
Oh, okay then. All right.
Or the Sandog. Sorry.
So then I need to beat a 12 in order to try and do that. Now, this is you are slogging through. You have water around you, and it is storming. So this is going to be a disadvantage for them to shoot you, because you're not fully out of the cover of the water yet, and it is a stormy, low light situation. So let's see. 2d10, keep the lowest. So we have Well, okay. Neither of those are going to work. So, what is going to happen is the one that would be closest to your position for ramping out. You ramp out. You splash down. You have the attention. Now, a rocket was already sent, so some are probably still trying to attack the ship that dropped you off. One, though, was trying to as several shots are going off in this attack. But you get the and the water is plipping up around you as maybe another wave kind of crashes against the side of your sand dog. However, the car itself isn't hit, and you can imagine that in the next round, after you do whatever you're going to do, more guns will be trained on you, and we'll go forward from there. Now, as you're trying to get out of here, unless you have something else in mind, as anyone in the party, all four of you can take action here. So if there's something, if you have a trick, if you have a way to juice up the vehicle, or you just want to take the bracing action, which would give you advantage on the next check, I will need, I'll guarantee need something done by fragment. The rest of you, if you have something that you want to do, you can, as this is the group turn in the vehicle, as you're trying to churn, maybe like, you're listing to the side and one of the wheels is catching as you're getting shallower and shallower. What's going on? You all are acting effectively all at once.
Well, I've got an idea I'd like to run by you, or Kincaid does, to see if you think this might work under the rule of cool here.
Okay.
So, one of my plans as an engineer is the emergency jetpack, and at level 3 I can apply that to one of my teammates who is within 30 feet. I'm wondering if I can apply it to the sand dog itself to give it a short-term boost forward, like a shot of nitro just straight into the engine, so we can try to get out of the water a little bit quicker.
I love it.
Is that usually an action for you?
Yes, that would be a full action.
Okay. If you are... Yeah, okay, so this is what we can do. If you are willing to sort of deploy the platform on the side, and I'll say by doing that, that would lower the armor of the vehicle by 1 because one side is open. You can use the grenade launcher, and you can somehow rig up instead of like or the missile launcher, instead of like having it shoot a missile out, or maybe you're converting one of the missiles to, I don't know, you're putting it in backwards and you get a boosty off of it. If you're willing to have the van be a little more exposed in this circumstance, then what I would do is you'd have an armor or a defense of 11, but I would have not Kincaid, you're Kincaid. I would have Fragment roll normally instead of at another disadvantage, because maybe you're sort of like boosting out of the water or along it, so you're not slogging and being subjected to the splashing and the waves since you're not on the beach yet. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
So, driver, lower AC versus getting out of the water?
If you can get us to land faster, Kincaid, do it.
Okay, then jetpack it is.
All right, you release the latch on the side. The worms system is out, and you you take the rocket, you make some quick adjustments, like shove it in backwards so that the rocket end is facing out, and you hit the fire button. Fortunately, we'll just say that the explosives are venting out the back as well, so you're getting the extra
I'll
boosting.
knock the detonator cap off the end of that grenade,
Yeah,
slide
there
it
you
in
go.
backwards, and turn the grenade launcher to the back, and, okay, hold on, I don't know what this is going to do, and I push the button.
At the same time, John is like, trying to compensate so that we don't
Oh,
go
right.
donutting.
And
Well,
I'm
as
grabbing the armrest for dear life.
as we've all played with toy cars, one door is open. If you just open the door on the other side, you have wings and you can fly. Duh.
If it was good enough for Mask, it's good enough for PAX.
As then, I think I know what Fragment's going to do. Before we get to that point, what is Dr. Kent or Bernard going to do in this situation? Kincaid just sort of like whatever shouldered in. The side of the side of Casimir is exposed to more fire. You're going to take more fire on this round, but I don't know. You can see some of the people on the beach. There's some spray coming in. Do you want to do anything real quick, or do you want to leap out? Do you want to, I don't know, just hold on to your butts and brace?
Is there like a speaker system, like a PA system in this vehicle at all, like a speaker on the top or something that I could?
I think there would be on a vehicle like
Yeah,
this.
we've got legs affixed to the front bumper. He's got a speaker on him.
We've got legs and we know how to use them.
Yep. So are you saying something, or?
Yeah, I'm going to call out to the. I mean, you said there's people on the beach.
Yeah.
Danger!
shooting.
Everybody, take cover! Take cover! There's danger from above. You're in danger. Move! Get out of the way!
Do you want? Are you trying to intimidate them to do that, or how are you envisioning this?
Persuasion, I guess intimidation, if that's what it takes.
I would take intimidation because they're very hostile. I don't think you're going to persuade them, and deceiving them,
Not trying to deceive
give
them,
their
just
alignment.
being
So, go ahead and make an intimidation at disadvantage, and we'll see if you rock this or not.
Let's mark disadvantage here on the sheet, and we'll come back over here, and watch me roll a 1. Actually, not that bad.
All right. And the automatic roll already included the. Oh yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
rolled
Look at
it
that.
from my
Okay.
sheet. I rolled it from my sheet, so it should be fine.
I have a question for you. Where did you find the option to do that?
Oh, if you go to where there's a gear symbol
Okay.
on your character sheet, if you click on that, it brings up a page with a bunch of
Roll
stuff.
normally with advantage. Ah. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
All right. You shout. We'll see if there's any effect on it. But you're trying to, I don't know, distract or scare or.
I'm trying to scatter them to get them out of our way.
Yeah. Bernard, what are you doing then while Dr. Kent is like yelling through the PA system? The door is open. You're like just in the middle of getting this boosty out of the water. When in doubt, you can always brace, and that would give you advantage on the next round of something you do.
I think he's having some technical difficulties. My spider from my laptop has infected his computer.
Intimidation is much more intimidating when it's said with a machine gun.
Yeah. Sort of.
Well then, while he's working that out, Fragment, you have some driving to do. I would like you to make another roll. This is not at disadvantage, so if you want to use another fickle favor, you can, and you would be at advantage. Or you can just try and go in and get her done.
We'll save the last fickle I've got for now, for just in case something is a little bit more, like a rocket headed our way.
Ooh, there you go. That's the number that I'm the bare minimum that I'm looking for here.
It's all Kincaid's doing, really. I'm just holding on.
So, all right, you're able to compensate as the rocket goes in reverse and propels you. So now you have the landing that you had originally hoped for on the beach. You're out of the water. You're out of this disadvantage situation. Now, there are more guns trained on you, and you are slightly more exposed. Pardon me. You are slightly more exposed. in the current state, but you're on land, and presumably you can zoom out of there. As what you've seen so far, there's just these soldiers or whatever they are that are stationed along the beach. Uh-oh, did I disconnect? Did I disconnect? Oh, that's not going through. Uh-oh. Did I disconnect? Question mark? I can't even chat. If you're watching this on YouTube later. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Bro, here you.
Yes.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh,
Can you
yes,
hear me through
yeah.
the video?
I can hear you. Looks like I reconnected on OBS.
I had to refresh the Twitch stream.
Okay, I hopefully am. Okay. We're back? Question mark. All right, chat. Hello. Are you here? Yeah.
Hello.
Offer sacrifices to OBS.
So yeah, I can hear you, Maddie.
Okay.
Are you coming through there?
Yep. All right. Well, then the show can continue on. Looks like we're reconnected, and yeah.
Welcome back.
So, Craigar, I had some sort of internet hiccup. It seems because it was on my end. So anyway, we're back. All right. Oh, actually, Bernard, was there something you wanted to do then before I open up fire with my troops here?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make some kind of perception check to see what I wanted to get a lay of the beachhead. Is there a rocky outcropping? Is it just straight beach? Is there some kind of maybe a levee of some sort nearby?
All right.
I wanted to get the lay of the land.
Do you
Is
have
the levee dry?
do you have any sort of abilities to be able to see in low light?
I do not.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception at disadvantage as you're waiting for the little bit of like sunset light coming through the storm or lightning like light ups, or you're trying to use the muzzle flares of the guns to kind of get a quick positioning of things. Okay. Bernard, you have some salt water in your eyes and it stings. It's not good.
Sorry,
Balance.
smoke from the grenade launcher.
Okay, so we did have a successful splashdown. You are on the beach. And now that your presence is known and you're out of the water, I am going to attempt to fire on you. There are 3 people who are going to try, and this is going to be how successful. It looks like we're going to have 2 hits and a miss. All right. So what is going to happen here? This case, I'm not aiming at the tires because the tires are only just above water. This is just at the general body of the vehicle. They're not trying to aim at you as passengers, but those are things that, if things get spicy, that they could do. And let's go to this because we are damaging. thought I had the page selected, and apparently I didn't. That was the chase complication. I need to go back. There we go. Crash damage, damaging a vehicle. When a vehicle is hit by an attack or otherwise takes damage, compare the vehicle's armor value to the attack's penetration value. If the penetration value is higher than the armor value, the vehicle is damaged. If the armor value is equal to or higher than the penetration value, the vehicle is not damaged. And if I take a look at light machine guns, this does have an armor value of 3, and this is to the, or the penetration value. And then we do have the armor value of the Humvee is 2. So this is going to try and damage your, or this will be damaging your vehicle. Let's get back to the book. Vehicles don't have hit points, so a vehicle that is damaged makes a Constitution saving throw with a DC equal to half the attack's damage rounded down. The driver rolls a d20 and adds the vehicle's Constitution modifier. So this is going to be yours to do, Fragment. You need to make 2 Constitution saving throws. The car's Constitution, or Casimir's Constitution, fortunately is a +5. And then we need to see, because the damage on that from a light machine gun is 2d6 ballistic. So attack number 1 / roll 2d6. 7, and then / roll 2d6. 7 and 6, so that is I have so many windows open on my smaller monitor right now. Okay. DC equals half the attack's damage rounded down. So half would be, I guess, 3 and 3 from here. And we had on your 2d20 10 and 19. So 5 and +5 to each of those.
15 and 24.
Woo!
Okay, so you are not damaged. So you get the ting 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 against the armor of Casimir. Maybe it's denting it up a little bit, or if any of you care about the paint is getting scratched. Oh no. Although, how am I supposed to... If the DC is half the attack's damage... Well, because on larger things against a vehicle...
like a rocket launcher.
Yeah, like a rocket launcher, and we're also talking about penetration value, which is an auto, and you wouldn't even get to save anyway. So I think that makes sense, especially for that vehicle, to have a better chance than not to repel the light machine gun fire. So 3 of the soldiers fire. 2 of them are pimp pimp pimp, and we'll say. Bernard, because you were sort of like, you were looking out. There's some sparks as bullets are pinging by where you're sitting, and Dr. Kent will say that some bullets also ping are going off of the armor of the vehicle on your side as well. Okay, so that was me attacking, and that means that we come back to you as the group. Now, presumably, whoever the rocket launcher had a round to reload, meaning that you might be getting something a lot more spicy coming your way unless they need to take out the ship more than you all. That's a chance you have to take, but what are the 4 of you doing inside your vehicle here in order to, I don't know, navigate, or if you want to try and run down? I'll say that because you had the fire, there's at least 1 soldier that had fired on you that would be close by if you wanted to have some sort of ramming maneuver, or if you just want to escape and GTFO, then you can try and do that. So you can fight, kind of, or you can, like, if you wanted to linger and maneuver and fight, then it would be like more of a firefight, or if you want to escape, we can have a quick escape, or attempt a quick escape.
This vehicle has weapons on it, right?
Yes, there are 2 mounted belt-fed light machine guns. One of them is in the roof, so you're still like in the van or in the truck mostly. The other one is down on the platform. The rocket launcher is not, I don't know, might not be usable. I don't know exactly how to... Kincaid might need to clear the spent rocket, but one of the machine gun platforms and the grapple arm is on the worms system that is deployed currently.
Can I
Am
pop
I?
up,
Go ahead.
can I pop up into the machine turret there and see if I know nothing about guns, but nobody else is able to do it right now, so can I try to take shots at something?
Yeah. Do you have advanced weaponry proficiency?
Hell no.
All right. So you're doing this without your proficiency bonus, but nothing says you can't get up there and point the barrel in a direction and pull a piece of metal.
What is there anything skill-wise that I can add to this? Or it's just straight roll?
So, can I offer a suggestion here? I don't want to metagame your character,
No, fine. Go ahead.
but the suppressive fire action can be used with a full auto weapon.
Okay.
And this is basically an area of effect attack that doesn't require skill to use. It's just fire in that general direction.
Yeah.
We're gonna activate the spray and pray.
There you go. Dr. Kent said, "I told you, get out of here."
I am the danger.
Class is now in session.
So we do need to know how far apart the people are, because there's an area of effect for the field of fire here.
All right. That might go with Dr. Kent's values anyway. Maybe you're not, even though they're trying to kill you, maybe you're not trying to kill them, but you want them to at least, like, get down. All right. So all of you, like, I don't know, one of you is like you're there next to Kent as she's popped up, and she's on like just her upper part is out there, and just and it's wobbling, it's going everywhere. Kincaid, Bernard, what are you doing, either independently or if you want to try and help Fragment with whatever he's doing?
So it says the reload for the grenade. So is this a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher?
A rocket launcher, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
If I said grenade, I meant rocket, because it is propelled. That's how you got the boosties and everything. You should have a rocket launcher.
Okay, because, yeah, according to the book, there's a no reload for a rocket launcher.
I would say it would take a standard action, because I think the book is presuming like a shoulder-mounted, like a Stinger missile or something. This is a platform where you can like drop or you can put another rocket in, and it's meant to, like, you can fire a rocket, and then it would take either someone else reloading so you could fire again next round, or you'd have fire a rocket one round, you're down one round, fire a rocket the next round.
Okay, can I move over to the other light machine gun?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if that other light machine gun can point towards the beach, I would also like to do the suppressive fire thing.
Sure.
Is there anything that we need to roll for that suppressive fire?
Let me see here. Performing suppressive fire can be laid down with a semi-auto or full auto weapon. To take the suppressive fire action, a combatant designates a target area within the weapon's normal range. Target area is either a line or a series of contiguous spaces up to the size of the allowed target area. So for a full weapon, that is a target area up to 30 feet wide. And we need 20 or more rounds in the weapon, so we've got those checked. Field of fire for a suppressive fire attack is defined as the targeted area plus the area between that targeted area and the shooter. Any combatant in the field of fire who is not behind effective total cover is hit by the suppressive fire, which requires no attack roll, and thus can't be a critical hit. Combatants in the field of fire can use the die for cover reaction to avoid the damage, but they must decide to do so before the damage is rolled. A character using the suppressive fire action rolls damage once for all targets.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically, it's a cone that does 2d6 damage to anybody in there.
Zero.
Yep.
Seconds.
Yep.
And it says the field of fire stays in effect until the start of the shooter's next turn, until the shooter moves or is moved by an external effect, or until the shooter suffers a condition that stops them from firing. While the field of fire is in effect, anyone entering that area or coming out of total cover within it takes damage automatically.
All right. I'm sorry. What was the cone? It was 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 30 feet wide.
Goes down. Maybe, yeah, it's a little bit larger. All right. So.
And within the weapon's normal range, which
Oh, okay.
is very nasty for a light machine gun, which has the normal range of 900.
Yeah. All right. So from the rooftop, then, Dr. Kent, I guess if you're trying to go for something, a pattern more like this, it would be a little bit wider, but that would be kind of your cone, which means Kincaid, from the deployed side of the vehicle here, since you're more on this platform, if you wanted to lay down a cone, it would be kind of like this, right?
Yeah, well, if I can see where incoming fire is coming from,
Yes.
I would definitely direct it towards that area.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because you could see where the three that had opened up on you, they're represented by the weird little deuter tokens here.
Black cloaks.
Yep,
Must be evil.
clearly. Unfortunately, there's no convenient red barrels that have washed up on the shore for you to shoot, or that the soldiers are hiding behind.
I knew we should have brought our own.
I mean, you can just fabricate those, right? Okay. Wink, wink.
Well, as long as they are a price of 1, then yes, that's my resources.
All right, were those? I'm sorry, was that automatic damage, or am I making a save?
They can make a die for cover reaction to avoid the damage, but you have to do that before the damage is rolled. Otherwise, it just hits everything in that area.
Okay, then this is what we'll do. You're using your actions, and they're gonna die for cover, presumably meaning that they are not going to be able to open up on you all, because they would greatly prefer not to be pew-pewed. So this happens. I just imagine the doctor, like the wind-swept hair, a lightning bolt dramatically behind her, and she's just like firing in a cone. Bernard, what are you doing here? As you're seeing these enemies sort of die for cover on the beach, like behind a dune, or trying to, I don't know, just hit the ground to hopefully not be hit by the machine guns here.
Well, seeing Kincaid in the rocket launcher, I'll be the one to reload it.
Oh, all right. So in this case, well, if it's a full turn, he's. I'll say this kind of rule of cool too. You got to clear that jam first, but it's already been an expended rocket. It's not dangerous, but you got to like kind of reach in there. You got your gloves, so it probably hurts, but it doesn't burn your fingers. You kind of you pull the used like engine part of the rocket out, and then the proper way you this end towards enemy with a fresh rocket.
Point towards enemy.
So you spend your turn. It is reloaded with the jam cleared, and now we come over to you, Fragment. Fragment, there's machine guns going off. You have these mysterious figures that are diving for cover out of the rampant machine gun fire coming from the roof of Casimir and the open side. What are you doing?
I have a question. I have two questions for you. The
Yes.
first question is, can I use a bonus action and still drive?
Unless it's a weird circumstance, I'd say so, because driving would be your primary action. And you're not moving, so it'd be like that's the main thing, but I'm open to hearing what you want to do with a bonus action.
So I have a talent called It's For You. You can use your bonus action to make someone's cell phone ring at maximum volume. And it says you must be able to see your target, so that's the second question I was going to ask is, can I see the rocket launcher guy?
If you want to take your turn instead to perceive, but right now 3 people with machine guns are the obvious targets that were being, attempted to be lit up. There's no one standing like in the middle of, it's a road even though it's a beach, but like kind of like as they're trying to get their next rocket in either. There's no one who's obvious. So I would say no in that regard.
But I would be able to see the other 3 then.
Yes, yeah, the light machine gunners.
So I'd like to, I see one of them start to go diving down, and I tap on my smartwatch real quick, and then point the face of it at him, and I'm gonna make a phone call.
Okay. Just
it
passing by,
says-
but instead of the middle finger, just like.
Yep. And it says the target must make a wisdom saving throw against my plan DC. And if they fail, they're distracted until the end of their next turn.
Okay. What's the DC I'm aiming for?
We were looking for a DC of... It looks like it is 10 plus my intelligence modifier.
I might have beat you.
Yeah, it'll be a 13, it looks like.
Okay.
So yes.
So in this case, diving. So this guy's diving for cover, and maybe shakes his head. Maybe there's an earpiece or something that's just going wild, but is not distracted mechanically, but is, I'm sure, very confused that in the middle of a firefight he was getting some sort of a squelching noise in his earpiece, or a signal or a white noise or something. Okay.
And then, I will attempt to keep a straight pattern on the road here, or on the beach.
All right.
On the sandy road.
This is you're out of the water now, and just if you're aiming to just get out of here, because you will move faster than soldiers on foot, then this is just going to be another drive check. This will be you're all terrain, you're out of the water, nothing really except just having a lower armor value, having the side of the of Casimir open. I'm gonna put this at a 13, and if you are super successful, then there might be some extra fun little. Uh-oh.
And so good. One hand on the steering wheel, and then just we hit a loose pocket of sand.
Yep.
And spin out.
All right. So the machine gun fire is going wild here. We are. So this is a failure. So yeah, I'm going to say that we did have a spin out where you were able to move. You moved ahead some, but there's that loose pocket, and trying to, I don't know, you got too cocky. You should have listened to Han Solo, kid. And and so Dr. Kent, you're up in the machine gun nest and just wild. And by the time everyone just gets their senses, are we heading back into the sea as the car has spun around and you're now facing this way. So now it's my guys' turn here. They were diving. Yeah, they brought their guns out. You said, well, we have those too. They now know that you have machine guns and are at least willing to just spray your belt-fed bullets at them. It's storming and dark on the beach. I am going to have them start slinking away. And in this moment where you all can start going like, oh, look at that, they're running away, or I don't know, you're trying to get your senses because you're dizzy. I don't know, have fun with it, play into it. This is when we have someone pop up from behind a sand dune. Got the tube on his shoulder.
Okay.
And while the others are trying to make a break for it, we have someone who's trying to be the big damn hero of the bad guy team. And I'm going to try shooting at.
Roll like me. Roll like me.
Miss. Oh
Roll
no!
like me.
All right.
Well, guys, this mission may be over before it even begins.
So that is a hit, and we'll resolve what happens. But you know, the hit goes off, and he's there, kind of like behind the sand dune. Yeah, cheering. Let me see. This is 8d8. The penetration value is greater. So this is going to going to damage the car straight up. This is not an equivalent. This is not an equivalent armor. That is. He's not aiming for the tires or passengers. Let's go back to that page real quick. Because it is, I believe, just a damage table. And I don't know if it's total damage dependent or if it's just per hit and you go down the table. I have to review that real quick. Because chases are in one section and these rules are in a separate section. So I'm going back and forth between the two. Here we go. Crash damage. Falling vehicles damaging a vehicle. Is hit by an attack or otherwise takes damage. Compare the vehicles. Okay, so we did that. On a failure of the... Okay. On a success roll in the vehicle damage... Oh, wait. On a success roll in the vehicle damage table to determine what was damaged. And with... Oh, okay. So I guess there is some that was... dinged up in the bullet spray. I'm not worried about that right now. That's totally why you spun out, and it wasn't Fragment's fault. Come on, guys. Stop picking on him.
Well, I believe it's if we fail the Constitution check, we roll on that table. So remember, we had to compare the half damage to the Constitution of the vehicle, the Constitution check of the vehicle.
Yeah. So the penetration value was 6 to your armor of 2. So it just says the vehicle is damaged. If the armor value is equal to or higher, then it's... Oh, wait, then it's not. If they don't have hit points... Okay. The driver rolls a d20. Yeah, so we did that for the light machine gun. On a success... So on a success roll on the vehicle's damage table to determine what was damaged and with what effect. So a success on the con roll. I'm not worried about it. We moved past the light machine gun fire, but on a failure, the vehicle is... Okay, so it just goes to totaled. So you can be damaged and take some glancing hits on a penetration value versus armor value. So in this case, that in this case, I don't need to roll the hit points because the car doesn't have hit points. So I guess we move into the rocket goes and hits the side. Now, fortunately, you spun around and it impacted the side of the car that wasn't open. So it was up here. The car is in a totaled state, meaning that it is totaled vehicle that is moving, risks a crash. Well, you kind of did a spin out. If Kincaid might be able to pull something out here, then you might be able to get moving again here. As it, I mean, you're not going to look pretty. We'll see what happens. But this just takes us from, well, maybe a random piece of important cargo is hit by the attack. If the vehicle has no cargo, there's no effect. So maybe that's what one of the stray bullets did. I'm not worried about that part resolving. This is just the totaled state. And that was their attack, because the other ones are moving away and the other guy's going ha 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 with the rocket launcher. So we come back to the four of you inside the sand dog known as Casimir. Kincaid, that scratch sounded pretty bad. If you want to start out this round, is there anything that you think you can do to fix the vehicle or to try and remedy what happened?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at mechanics, but that's going to require me to get out and fix the vehicle. Is there any chance I recognize that the rocket launcher is one of the fancy new electronically imbued and targeted rocket launchers, or is this some World War II salvage era where it's just point, click, and hope?
The one on board Casimir?
Oh no, the one that just shot us.
Oh, much more of it's a man portable. Like, it's very basic. This person is shooting with skill and perhaps a prayer. This isn't like the one that's hooked up to your quasi guidance system, your bright tech stuff. So it's damaging, but it's more primitive.
Okay, yeah, I was hoping I'd be able to blow up the rocket launcher, but
Maybe.
I might have an idea for that.
okay. Well, if I can target the rocket launcher with the light machine gun and just fire directly at him, since he's standing up and celebrating his victorious hit on us.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes such a good scene in my head. Just him being like, yeah.
All right then.
Indiana Jones vibes, where he's swirling that scimitar around. He just pulls the gun out and shoots him.
All right. So you want to like pull down the dizzy doctor and go up to the roof-mounted one. I won't say that the machines that the machine guns are compromised. This just it hit the vehicle, and so the vehicle, I don't know. It like one of the panels is crumpled and it's hurt one of the like the tire is it's not moving right now. It might be fixable, but the machine gun on top is there. So if you want to swap out and go up top, you can try lighting up the rocket launcher instead.
Yeah, I will definitely try lighting him up, because we can't fix anything outside of the vehicle if we're getting rocket launched.
Sure. All right then.
If he wants to pull me out of the machine gun nest, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Now, as the car is in a totaled state, you won't have the bright tech guidance. This would be non-proficient unless you are proficient with military weapons.
I am not proficient with military weapons, but I am pretty dexterous, so...
That raw talent may work.
I have a question.
Hmm?
I have a plan called I'm In, which allows me to forcibly take control of computer systems.
Oh.
Could I perhaps kind of use that to reboot our Bright system?
Yes.
I will go ahead and spend a genius to do so then.
You spend a genius, you, okay, yeah. So you're up there, and while the machine parts are more compromised, and the machine was attached to the electronics seem to still be serviceable. So yeah, okay, Kincaid goes up, you know what's happening because the bright tech stuff it's not responsive. You do a quick plug-in, and I'm in. And Kincaid, as you're going, well, good thing I'm twitchy. There's just this little like beep 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 beep, and a little light comes on, and now it's kind of easier to swivel the machine gun or whatever. It's easier
it looks
to
like
use.
the power steering's back on.
Yeah, the power steering is back on, so you don't have to fight it in the storm here. Now, Fragment, as you do this, there's a little bug on your device that you recognize.
Oh. Okay.
It didn't interfere, but it's there. Kincaid, you can open up, and before you do, Dr. Kent, you were sort of yoinked out of position because you that was the central gun, and the other one's on the opposite side of where the attacker is. What are you doing since you swapped out with Kincaid?
Well, how close are the people who are shooting at us?
Looks like 10, 20, 30. They're probably 50, 60-ish feet away from you, running away through the sand. It's slowing them down some because they're going through the sand.
Then what I'd like to do is throw a can of knockout gas at him. This is one of my plans. Oh, they have to be within 20 feet. Never mind. That's not gonna work. Then I'm gonna try the other one, which is right into my trap. They have to be within 120 feet.
Okay.
And I can say that I have set up a sticky web trap somehow. Magically, I knew they were going to run into it, and so I've got this web trap that I can activate, and I can choose to affect everyone within 5 feet of the target. So, are there any other people around that close, or is it just one person I'm going to get?
It's these two that have run together. There's a third. Well, I think I double dutied the token here. So we'll say there's this one here. If you want to try and tangle up both of them, you can.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
All right. Is that a save on my end?
Let's see. They have to make a dexterity saving throw against my plan DC. Now, how do I know what my plan DC?
That's for you, because you're an int-based character. That is 8 plus int plus proficiency.
Okay, 8 plus 3 plus 2, 8 plus 5 is 13.
Okay.
Oh man, they both saved. Well, I have to spend my genius point.
Well, you said 13, right?
Yeah.
All right, so one of them failed. The other one did succeed. So you have one of them. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm better than nothing.
Okay.
And what that does is they are restrained for 1 hour.
Crispy 9 donut,
right.
Crispy 9 donut, Crispy
They
9
can't
donut.
continue to try and make strength checks against my DC to free themselves later on. But for now, they're stuck.
So if there's a different way you want to describe it, go ahead. I mean, whether it's I don't know, you have a little like dispenser gun, or you look at this and you have a smile on your face because you look at the direction they're running, and maybe you
right into a cactus patch.
Yep.
Like, oh, I saw that coming.
Yeah, you're like I'm not concerned they're running away. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say I can see that they're running into a patch of like a spiny plant, and I know that if I trigger the plant just right, that they're going to get caught in the spines of it and not be able to move.
So spiny plants wouldn't so much be here, but we can even say that there's an old fishing net that's washed up in the storm. Okay. And while one of them was able to high step through it, the other kind of bungled like into it and might have done like a roll to hop back up, because I don't know if it makes him prone. If not, then kind of like bungled through it, and it got on his foot, and he sort of did a roll, but it was hopping up and is trying to get away. but there's just this old fishing net that was on the beach, maybe by like a rowboat or something that was pulled up before the storm. And so there's this person here, and you could just smile with a, you know, like, yeah, well, that's what you get. You should have seen that coming.
Yep. So that works for me.
Okay.
So I'm like, I can kind of see, wait, I see something in the sand there just sticking up. And so I can kind of nudge them that way, and they end up tripping into this fisherman's web. And when they try to extract themselves, they just make themselves stuck worse.
Bernard.
Well, I imagine we're still kind of, even with the spin out, I guess we're still kind of careening, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with the brace action.
Okay. So on the next action, you will have advantage or cancel disadvantage if whatever you're doing might invoke it. All right, so like whatever. This could be like you actually bracing, or you're being observant, and I don't know. You're ready for something here. All right, Kincaid, take the shot. The others have acted. Kincaid, I meant succeed, but I guess that's the spirit of it.
So that is a proficiency plus. Is it Dex or is it going to be intelligence?
This is Dex, because it's you still
okay.
need to be dexterous with the weapon.
Yeah, and that is a 12.
Okay.
Does that hit? Hopefully.
That.
Please.
Let me double check my baddie's armor actually. This. There you go. I like that in the back there's just the big chart of everything listed alphabetically, and it has their CR in their page here. And you. No, not that one. No, this is a defense 14 person.
Oh, okay. Then I'd like to use my bonus action to tell Legs to take a shot at him too.
Ah, okay. Roger, roger.
Well, Legs, go.
So that's an 18 plus
Okay.
5, so 23.
Yep, that hits.
For sorry, 4 damage plus 2 proficiency plus 3 intelligence, so set. No, that's. Sorry, it's late. My brain is not mathing.
Nope, you're fine. We're almost towards the end of this initial like beach breach.
So 9 points of damage from Legs.
Okay. So you and big whatever gouts of sand go up, and then Legs goes ping, and he is he's not looking too happy. All right, it comes back to my buddies, my baddies. I guess they're my buddies because I'm the bad guy in this instance. You're compromised, but also one's tangled up, and the machine gun is still facing them because the weapons platform is on that side. They saw that the one fired. I think they're going to keep moving. Well, the one's going to keep moving ahead and is going to run like away and off. The other one, you said I can attempt a strength check to get out of this? Dr. Kent?
Strength check to try and get out of it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
I'll do it.
So he'll get out. However, he's going to keep running because the worms is still open, and they saw that at least one of the machine guns are working. The other guy. The other guy just got shot by a piddly little hood ornament robot. But you do have a functional machine gun. Let's roll this. He is going to do the smart thing, and he is going to start running away also. He's going to chuck down the tube, and, like, I don't know, like, clutch his arm where he got shot by legs. Is probably, like, cussing something in the storm-tossed winds. Tosses down the empty tube, and he starts running down the beach this way also. It comes back to you all. The vehicle needs repaired before it can move. The the electronics are online right now because they're being sort of piggybacked off of Fragment's system. What do you want to do? You could try chasing down the bad guys as they're running away, or you can try and get the car going or something. I don't know. What?
So Kincaid's just gonna say, "Cover me with the guns," and hop out the side. Yeah, come on, legs. We gotta fix this up.
Roger, roger.
Doctor, if you could get back in the turret, please.
Paging Dr. Kent. Dr. Kent to the turret.
Actually, seeing that Kincaid is, Bernard
It'd be nice
will,
if you could stop the bus before I hop off.
I think it's busted, right?
Yeah. The bus has come to a full stop at this point.
Yep. So,
Hey,
Bernard,
no
what were
longer
you
have to
doing?
Keep hands and legs inside the car.
yeah, he'll take over in the turret.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're staying to start fixing up the car. This is what we'll do then. On a dark and stormy night, you have breached the beach, presumably close enough to people who don't want you there that they've opened up. You've scared off whatever these kind of mooks are from because you are way more armed than they suspected. This wasn't just a cargo ship, or this wasn't just something that they could either pirate or scare off. You all ramped out of there, and while it was a bit of a slog, and they did tag you really well, the Casimir's a hurting puppy on the dunes, but perhaps something that you all can accomplish as these whatever rank and file, these mooks, these initial people are running off, presumably alerting others that there has been something going on. But what we'll do is we will end the session tonight with you all working on repairing Casimir and wondering, I mean, maybe because you're up in the turret, you're scanning, making sure that they're not going to try and get the drop on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask for maybe a security role to keep an eye out.
Yeah, just to set up a vantage point or something, or where would be the best place to set up kind of an Overwatch or this this suppressive pattern. So we can tell you what, you roll a security, and I'm gonna roll a d20. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm rolling, but I'm gonna see what happens with this.
I'm gonna use one of my fickle favors to give me advantage.
So, do you want a mechanics check as well while we're here?
Yes. Go ahead and give me some initial. So let's take one from Bernard. We had one from. Also,
I'm going to be using my own fickle god's favor on the mechanics check.
Kincaid. Okay.
I wish something to contribute to this, but I don't know anything about fixing vehicles or firing guns.
Doctor?
If
You
needed
might
a
be able to
computer-
go get some clues in the sands. Bernard is confident in his overwatch over you, and at
Well,
least
that
one
was
of them
bad.
was tagged by a bullet. You might be able to find something there, or go search the net if they left behind any clues.
Yeah, I'm gonna go start with the net then, see if I can find anything that might have been left behind.
Okay.
That's a 25 for that mechanics check.
Whew, all right.
Nice!
Well, you know, poor Casimir has definitely seen better days. That rear bumper that you gave a pretty firm smack to is a little looser now. And on top of that, there's some pretty bad damage to the side. Nothing that you can't fix. He's not going to look pretty, and if you could, if you could find some better supplies, then you can restore the stats. I'll give you an amended stat line, but I will say with this, over time, as the investigation on the beach is happening, and you have the security overwatch going on, that you can at least get Casimir functional and moving to be able to get off of the beach and somewhere else to, buy scrap, steel, or something parts. So he can be limping again. You've coaxed a little bit of life back into the old boy here.
Had we not on the motorcycles, we'd be dead.
Well, the motorcycles might have been a little bit different in where you would be dropped off or the type of reception you'd have.
As a player, I know that. As Dr. Kent.
Oh, right. Okay, so Dr. Ken is counting her blessings like, oh, okay, yeah. If we did that on motorcycles, that would have been that certainly would have been more interesting. All right. So, Dr. Kent, go ahead and roll a... while it is dark and stormy, you also seemingly have some time on your hands. So one will cancel out the other. We'll say it's a straight-up perception roll as you're looking around for what you might consider to be clues or evidence here.
Oh, balls.
Okay.
Sorry.
So there's nothing that seems apparent.
Yeah, whatever they did, they didn't leave anything behind but a couple of footprints.
Yeah, so some
Definitely
footprints here.
appears to be a net.
And during this initial thing, before Kincaid, at least the machine doctor gives you the go ahead. All right, let's get back in. He can at least limp along now. I want you to roll a medicine check.
Who, me?
Yep.
Okay. Now that's more like it.
All right. With a definitive landmark elsewhere of the dropped rocket launcher, and where the other character ran away, he was shot. And, I mean, Kincaid will at least tell you that Legs told him that he seemingly clutched his arm in pain. It is stormy, but you're not seeing any signs of bleeding that you might associate with a wound. Because there should be maybe some kind of staining or some kind of written in evidence of leaking.
Something.
Yeah.
Is he undead?
So,
Is he a zombie or something?
in your
No.
professional opinion, this is the case.
Okay. We're dealing with undead critters then. Got it. And I will definitely report that back. So, hey, these aren't your run-of-the-mill bad guys. They appear to be of the unliving variety.
And then...
I didn't think we actually hit them, but they're dead already?
Going after we are sort of going after an undead mafia of some sort.
Yeah,
so
so I suppose that's not terribly surprising. Oh god, I'm so tired. excuse me, I'm sorry.
Well, then, what we'll do is we'll leave it here. A little bit of life has been breathed back into Casimir mechanically. Fragment, you're sustaining electronics. Like, you need to sustain the electronics in the current state of things. It's doable. You've already done it. You've connected to the Bright Tech and into the divination suite of things. You do have that little bug that's with you also. That you notice. Whether or not you tell anyone, that's up to you. It's discreet enough. You've seen it. You know you can see it. And in that face also, for just that brief blink, was back on your screen here. That bug should have been back with PAX, but it seems to be on your current laptop. And then we have the evidence and the Overwatch that are going on here as you all are going to limp off to a location to hopefully lick the wounds a little bit better and go from there. So what we'll do, because we are past midnight, and I appreciate you as my players participating in another session here. We have our grand finale of session 3. Now that the operation is underway and you've made contact with the enemy, you might be closer than even what the survey report had indicated. Can you accomplish this mission? Your vehicle is really hurt. Fortunately, you all aren't, except maybe your pride a little bit. And we'll see where things are going to go from here. Oh no, we have another bot. Well then, before we go on a raid, I think I am going to try and get this account reported and destroyed. One moment. And you know, it's a shame that these were probably real people at one time that were compromised, because the bots look like the current one is from 2018, and there was a 2020 and a 2022. But we go to report, spam, scams, or bots. We hit next. I'll put a bot. And let's say soliciting chat to buy viewers with this message. Copy paste.
Don't look at me, my bot is well behaved, as long as you're not shooting at us.
Yes. Though unfortunately that shot, while it didn't defeat the bad guy, it at least led to an interesting clue. All right, so the bot is reported. We are going to go. You know what? We're talking about repairing. We're talking about building. We're talking even perhaps a little bit about crafting. Let's go raid Batty's channel, as Batty yearns for the mines, and he is playing some Minecraft. Let's go say hi. He's definitely a friend of the channel. He's raided into us. We've raided into him. He's a very high energy kind of guy who has started his own D&D game that he's been running. Now I think he's 3 sessions in, or will be. So we'll give him some cheer. We'll see what he's building and what he's up to. Thank you again to you in the audience, to you watching sometime in the future on some other platform, and to the here and now to my players for participating in another wonderful adventure tonight. Much love to you all. All right, let's go raid Batty, and we'll see you next Tuesday for the grand conclusion here to Apples to Oranges. So take care.